Hello all, welcome to this class on isometric projections, and in this class let's solve problem number 5, that is a frustum of a cone base diameter 50 mm, top diameter 25 mm and height 50 mm is placed centrally on a cylindrical slab of diameter 100 mm and thickness 30 mm. Draw the isometric projection of the combination. So let's try to solve this problem. So here it is clear that they are telling a frustum of a cone, that is a cone is placed centrally on a cylindrical slab. So first you will have to you will have to construct a cylindrical slab, and upon that you will have to place the cone. So that is very important. So using the whatever the values, whatever the dimensions, whatever they've given, let's try to construct that. So first thing what you will have to do it is you will have to create that cylindrical slab. Its dimensions are, they are telling it is 100. So therefore that is like the length or the side length or whatever you can take it. So that you can take it as the length, and the dimensions of it is nothing but, and thickness is given as 30. So just like last problem we'll be solving it. So just create that base frame first. So 100 tab 30 enter. So the length dimensions will be 100 in on all four cases, while the angle combinations are 30, 150, minus 150 and minus 30. So 100 tab 30 enter. So before that you see that first you try to draw a line, so that is very important. So now you just try to create 100 tab 30 enter, 100 tab 150 enter, 100 tab minus 150 enter, 100 tab minus 30 enter. So see that you try to do that, and so let's try to move that. So move it and place it somewhere over here. So next thing what you have to do it is go to normal line. So then try to draw that. So because you are going to create a cylindrical slab, so the midpoint of your let's try to at midpoint let me try to draw a line over here. Similarly here at the midpoint let me try to draw a line. So similarly from this corner let me try to draw a line at this midpoint. So this is the indication of midpoint as I told you. So similarly here at the midpoint. So now go to arc by center point. So click this center and create an arc. See that arc has to be visible. So don't make it using normal line. See that arc has to be visible. So you can try to zoom that particular area and do it so that you will get it much better. So see that it doesn't come outer. Okay. So similarly from here. And similarly from here, let's try to draw an arc here exactly. Okay, so now we have finished drawing that. Now let's try to go to a visible line. So from here, let me try to give its thickness. So its thickness is given as 30 here. So just enter. So now what you will have to do it is we'll have to create, to create the cylindrical slab, let's try to select this 4 arcs. So pressing Control key, and let's try to select all these 4 arcs. So now let's try to move that so that a copy is switched on. So here you just click this point, left click here and just try to drag it and drag till here. So next thing what you'll be doing is draw tangent lines, and next thing is now just let's try to trim that. So let's try to trim these unnecessary lines now. So let's try to zoom this particular area and trim that so that it'll you can trim it much more better. So even try to trim these other areas. Okay, now let's try to trim this also. So even this one may not be required. Okay, but let's try to keep this one. So now let's try to, I mean, let me go to line, normal line. Let's try to draw a normal line over here because this is the cylindrical slab. A frustum of a cone is placed centrally on here, so on the center. So on a rectangular slab. So now let's try to create the cone. So that cone base diameter is 50 and top diameter is 25. So when base diameter is 50, that 50 is taken as the length. So for four combinations, it's 50, 50, 50, and 50. The angle combinations is again 30, 150, 30, and 150. So now let me try to move this cylindrical slab somewhere at the end. So because we don't have enough space here, so let's try to move it for here for time being. So now let's try to create that base. So that base you will have to create again this base frame. So that base frame dimensions are 50 tab, 50 tab 30 enter, 50 tab 150 enter, 50 tab minus 150 enter, 50 tab minus 30 enter. So let's try to move that. Then what we'll have to do it is go to normal line. Okay, I mean I didn't. Okay, you can just keep this visible itself. Now go to normal line and try to draw lines from this corner to this midpoint, and from this corner to this midpoint. Similarly from this corner to this midpoint, and from this corner to this midpoint. Then let's try to draw arc using arc by center point and visible line. Try to draw arcs. You can try to zoom that so that you will get it much better. So arc by center point. So see that you try to draw an arc. Similarly here. And similarly here, let's try to draw an arc. Okay, now we have just drawn that. So the next thing what you'll have to do it is, I mean, we have just drawn that. So the next thing what you'll have to do it is, we have just created that base. So now the top has to be created. So the top dimensions are nothing but, you can use this top diameter as 25. So 25 tab 30 enter, 25 tab 150 enter, 25 tab minus 150 enter, 25 tab minus 30 enter. So just try to move that, and now I mean zoom that, go to normal line and try to create lines. Now just zoom that particular area and let's try to draw using arc by center point. And let's try to draw arcs over all these points. Okay, So now another thing what you'll have to do it is go to normal line and just try to draw a diagonal. Okay, so now we have just finished that. So now what you'll have to do it is similarly even here you will have to draw a diagonal midpoint line, a diagonal line for this base as well. So now it's very important. So now we have finished this base diameter 50, top diameter 25, but this height, that is very important. So from this midpoint, so when you are placing the cursor, mouse cursor on exactly on this midpoint line, at exactly midpoint, you get this symbol indication that it indicates that this is the midpoint. So from there, draw a line, a normal line. Let that normal line's height be 50. Enter. And now this one has to be moved over here. So just select this, pick exactly at its midpoint and place it over here. So now let's try to zoom that again. You can just see it now. Now try to select all these unnecessary lines and try to delete off that. So see that I'll try to select all these unnecessary lines. So similarly for this on this top also try to select all those unnecessary lines. You can try to zoom that and try to select it. You can select it much better there. Control and press Control and select all. And now when you delete it, okay, it is like this. Now try to zoom that and try to draw tangent lines using visible line. Using visible line, try to draw tangents. So try to draw tangents like this, and using trim, see that you try to zoom that area and try to trim that. Okay, see that while you trim it correctly, because the entire line may get deleted also. If it is not, if you can just see here, if it's not an exact tangent, there is a possibility that it could get deleted. So see that you try to draw exact tangent over here. That is very important. So see that that is the reason why that line got deleted, why that entire line got deleted. You can try to zoom that particular area and try to draw the tangent as well. So let's try to draw a tangent over here from here. So now it looks fine. So, but you can try to zoom this. Okay, it looks fine. So now let's try to move this back here. Let's try to move this and place it over here somewhere. So now this one has to be moved, and so pick exactly from here and place it exactly on this, on its midpoint over here. So now you can just see it is exactly placed on its midpoint. So now select this completely and move it somewhere here. Okay, so now let's try to select that again and try to scale it down to 0.816. So go to scale 0.816. So now let's try to, delete these unnecessary lines, edges and all. So let's try to select everything and try to delete that. Let's try to delete some and try to trim some lines. So delete all this. So even these lines. So even you can try to trim this. So trim this. You can try to zoom it as well. Suppose if you wanted to zoom it. So I think now everything is fine. So I think this completes the problem. So I think all the edges and all the curves, whichever is required, we have trimmed it off now. So I think that's it. Thank you.